let's do a little workshop on the valence bond model. Last workshop on valence bond. Describe the carbon-hydrogen bond in hydrogen cyanide using the valence bond model. How many total sigma and pi bonds are present in HCN? Okay, so let's take a look at that. Carbon will have to be the center atom. Hydrogen can't be, and carbon's less electronegative than nitrogen. So we're going to have a hydrogen, a carbon, and a nitrogen. And that is a total of 10 electrons for those three atoms. So we're going to put 2 single bonds in, subtract 4 electrons, gives us 6 electrons, and put those on the outlying atoms. Hydrogen doesn't need any. Nitrogen needs 6 to get an octet. So we've got the nitrogen taken care of here, but the carbon isn't. So after step 4, we don't have a carbon octet. So first thing we can do is make a double bond between the carbon and the nitrogen by using a lone pair of electrons from the nitrogen to make the pi bond here. But carbon still doesn't have an octet, so we'll take another pair of electrons, put that in, and that leaves us with a structure which now has an octet for both the carbon and the nitrogen. So that looks good. The hybridization is determined by, of course, the number of electron groups. So I want somebody to tell me how many electron groups are around the carbon. I heard some 3s and 2s. 2 only. 2 electron groups, a triple bond and a single bond. So that makes what kind of hybridization for the carbon?
SP.
SP. Everybody got that? I don't hear many responses. Okay, what about nitrogen? How many electron groups are around the nitrogen? 2. And what hybridization would we expect to use? SP for 2 electron groups. So, as we saw before when we talked about triple bonds, we have a triple bond made up of a single bond and 2 pi bonds. Okay? The carbon-hydrogen bond, this one right here, is also a sigma bond. And we would describe it, as the question asked for, as carbon sp, hydrogen 1s. Okay? And the, I'm sorry?
Did you say 2 pi bonds or 1?
2 pi bonds.
Okay.
2 pi bonds, 1 sigma. 3 bonds total, 1 sigma, 2 pi. Other questions? Okay.
Question?
Yes, go
Would
ahead.
it be necessary to say 2sp? Or is it just
2sp? No, no. You don't have to give the quantum number, principal quantum number for it. Just sp. That's all you need. Now, then the carbon uses an sp hybrid orbital to overlap with the hydrogen 1s to make a sigma bond, CH sigma bond. So that's how we would describe that. The carbon-nitrogen sigma bond would be carbon sp, nitrogen sp. And if we count the bonds, there are 1, 2 sigma bonds and 1, 2 pi bonds of 2 sigma plus 2